Good morning and welcome back to Story Time. And today we're going to find out what's been happening with that gnome in Grandad and Nana's garden. And today's story is called The Sunny Day Mystery, which is very good because today the sun's shining. So we'll find out what's been happening in Nana and Grandad's garden. One morning after breakfast, Grandad was working in the garden when all of a sudden he heard a strange noise. He stood up and listened. I'm sure that's music I can hear, he thought, but where is it coming from? He searched high and low, but he couldn't find it. He couldn't find out where the music was coming from. So he went into the house to see if Nana had the radio on, but all was quiet. What are you looking for? Asked Nana. I can hear music out in the garden, but I can't find out where it's coming from, said Grandad. Are you sure? Said Nana. I'll come out and I'll listen too. So they both went in the garden and they both listened. Yes, said Nana, I can hear it too, and I can hear someone singing. That's very strange, said Nana. Where on earth is it coming from? Just then they happened to see a big leaf move on the bush. So they listened and watched very quietly, and sure enough, as they went closer, the music and singing was coming from behind the big leaf. Grandad slowly moved the leaf, but he couldn't see anything. That's very odd, said Nana. That's definitely where it's coming from. Just then the little gnome appeared, which gave Nana and Grandad a right fright. Where have you come from? Said Nana. I've been here all the time, said the gnome. I've been sunbathing and listening to my music. I didn't think gnomes would like sunbathing, said Nana. Oh, yes, we do. We love to sunbathe, said the gnome, but we don't like people to see us. So we say a magic spell and we become invisible. That's a very neat trick, said Nana. And Grandad said, I wish we could all do that. And they all laughed. So now I think it's time that our gnome had a name. I think Grandad should ask him what his name is. What do you think his name could be? Could it be Bill? Could it be Ben? Or could it be something completely different? Well, I've got a little surprise. Grandad has actually had a chat. And he's had a chat with the gnome and he's found out what his name is. And it begins with B and it ends in S. And his name is Boris. We've got a gnome in the garden and his name is Boris. Wow. Well, we'll have to find out what Boris is up to. Shall we have another story? Okay, here we go. When Grandad was walking around the garden the next day, he heard a grumbling sound. What's that, he thought. He looked and looked everywhere and all of a sudden he spotted the gnome, whose name is Boris. Was that you making that noise? He said. Yes, it was, said Boris. Why, whatever's the matter? Said Grandad. I've lost something and it's very, very important to me, said Boris. Oh, said Grandad. What is it? I can't tell you, it's a secret. I will carry on looking, and if I don't find it, I will tell you tomorrow, said Boris. All right, said Grandad, and he carried on doing his work. Meanwhile, Boris could be heard grumbling all around the garden in the background. Grandad smiled to himself. He went and told Nana all about Boris losing something very important. But he wouldn't tell me what it was, said Grandad, so we can't help. Oh, well, said Nana, we can't help him until he tells us. When all the pots was washed and put away after dinner, Nana and Grandad went and sat in the sunshine in the garden. But in the background they could still hear Boris grumbling away. "I wonder what he's lost," said Nana. "We'll find out tomorrow," said Grandad. "You mark my words." After tea, Nana and Grandad couldn't watch telly or get interested in anything. They was trying to think up what the gnome could have lost. So they decided to go to bed early. They set the alarm clock so they wouldn't be late getting up, as they wanted to find out what it was that Boris was looking for. Next morning they hurried out into the garden, but no Boris. "He's keeping out of our way so he doesn't have to tell us the secret," said Grandad. "He's a little monkey," said Nana. "Never mind, I'll go and make a cup of tea." Meanwhile, Boris was fast asleep in his new bed. Suddenly he woke up with a fright, jumped out of bed. He didn't bother with breakfast. And he went straight out into the garden and continued to look for what he'd lost. "There you are," said Grandad. "We thought you was avoiding us, so you didn't have to tell us about your secret." "No," said Boris. "I've spent all night looking and I was so tired I overslept this morning." "Are you going to tell us so we can help you?" said Nana. "All right," said Boris, "but it's a secret, so don't tell anybody else. It's my treasure chest and it's very important to all us gnomes, as it can do magic when we ask for something." "Oh," said Grandad, "what does it look like?" "To us gnomes it looks like a treasure chest, but to you it's just like a plastic plant pot." "Oh, there's a lot of those in the garden," said Grandad. "Exactly," said Boris. Grandad looked at Boris and said, "Oh, wait a minute, I wonder if it's the one I picked up yesterday and put in the shed. Let's go and have a look." When Boris spotted his treasure chest on the bench, he was overjoyed. He had got it back. "I'm very sorry," said Grandad. "I thought the wind had blown it into the garden, and you know I like to keep things tidy." Boris knew Grandad was good and kind and wouldn't have tried to steal his treasure chest. "That's okay," said Boris. "Thank you so much. But next time you pick a plant pot up, please tell me so I know." "Okay," said Grandad, and they all laughed. "Oh, well, I'm pleased he got his treasure chest back. Poor Boris was very, very concerned about that. So I wonder what's going to happen next, and I wonder if he's going to do some magic tricks with that treasure chest. We will have to wait and see. So join us again tomorrow. Don't forget to like, subscribe and share. And if you didn't see the first part of the story, please go back to the first video. See you later. Have a lovely day. Bye-bye.